Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Subriel Matias retains his IBF 140-pound belt by making sure Ergashev quit at the end of the 5th round. That was a great performance from Subriel Matias. He really kept his cool. He kept his hands up. He took the punishment early on. Ergashev looked pretty good early on, but then, as he always does, he grinds his opponents down and he gets the victory. So let's talk about this fight.
Boxing.
Okay, shout out to all the subscribers tuned in. Thank you very much as always. And shout out to anybody new. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about this fight because can't help but feel a bit disappointed, right? I was like, oh man, and we built this up so much. There was a lot of buzz going in and all boxing fans, well, all eyes were on this fight, I think, you know, and it started off pretty good. You know, Ergashev came out, he looked very confident. And, you know, I said pre-fight, he's a very arrogant fighter. Somebody in the comments in another video mentioned that as well. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, he is. And and that arrogance can make you perform like it does early on, where he seemed to just deal with the stage, deal with, you know, the threat of Matias, and he looked strong. He looked like he was cut up a bit more. He looked like his punches were just sharp and crisp, and he was shooting those left hands, right? But he wasn't pendulum stepping anywhere near as much as I thought he would. He was still fighting in that mid-range. But Matias, and this was in the keys to victory for me in one of the videos I said, was like very calm with his hands up, being defensively responsible and taking a lot of those shots. And look, some were getting through. In fact, the first, I think he threw a left hand to the body and it pushed Matias back. You saw that in the first round? Wow. And I was like, but it looked a bit off balance as well, to be fair, but Erg's got some serious power, and he was coming up and letting that backhand go. His right hook was actually doing a bit of work, and he was turning Matias a little bit. But look, the game plan was always there, and I said that Matias has got to stay calm, keep his hands up, understand it's a 12-round fight, and Ergashev is going to let his shots off. And that's exactly what I thought, because he was like he was just eating up those shots. Some were getting through, a lot weren't. Some of the right hooks were cleaner because he had a high guard like that, and there's holes to the side, so he would shoot it right then and come in with a right hook and turn off to the side. Then in round end of round 2, he just decided to like abandon game plan. I don't know why or how this happens, because that was always what we'd said. I was like, if that fight ends up on the inside, he's toast. And there was actually a clip when I was looking for the footage. It was in, I don't know if it was against the Hernandez fight, or there was a fight that I'd watched where I saw Ergashev do that. And when he comes in, he's got the southpaw obviously, but he's got this shoulder down here, and he was just this is in not the Matias fight. And I thought to myself, I was looking for the clip so I could show you. I couldn't find it, but I was like, if he does that, it's done. The fight is done. And sure enough, he started to close the gap. You got to give Matias a lot of credit, because he was, like I said, taking those punches, staying calm in the face of serious firepower, which Matias had said by the end of the first he knew he could take his punches. That just shows you how much of a beast this guy is. Crazy. But he was just walking him down, and Ergashev was obliging him on the inside. And I just thought this was like the end of the second and then the 3rd round as well. And Ergashev was, you could see his energy bar dropping. Matias makes you fight frantically, and when your power isn't going to be there, I said, what's the backup plan then when it gets breached, because he can't fight on the inside? Look, he could hang on the inside, but he was making so many mistakes. He was getting caught with the left hook because he was like this. Matias's left hook was coming in here. Matias was uppercuts were landing, body shots, relentless beast pressure. Subriel Matias, I'll tell you what a fighter. I mean, he made that look fairly easy, but he had a game plan. He was poised, he kept his hands up, and he was determined, and he's just got the will of just an animal. He's not going to be him and Benavidez and Beterbiev, and now Benavidez, like, I'm starting to put in the same bracket. But Beterbiev, Matias, Benavidez, you are starting in a spider's web all right? And you are an insect with a little bit of poison, and this is a venomous spider that's just going to come and walk you down, take your shots, and eventually tie you up in a spider's web and just... Let me take that word. I just used the wrong word because YouTube's pretty sensitive with that word, but destroy you. I had to, adjust my language there for this algorithm, but that's what happens, and you see it happen. And see it with the Benavidez and Andrade fight. They land something, whether it's land something big or it's just a repetitive punches, and you just see the the energy, the fear, and they feed off of fear. That's what I was saying pre-fight. I was like, they feed off of it. It energizes them. A lot of boxers do, but these guys just can smell fear, and they home in on it. And your punches go down, your creativity and everything runs out. And if you can't clinch, and I said that pre-fight, I was like, he's got to be able to clinch for dear life. He couldn't even really do that. He just had this really untaught, if you can call it a Philly shell, whatever it was. I don't know where he's picked that up from probably from some of the gyms in America, and maybe he's used it against lesser opponents in sparring and stuff like that, because I've seen him use it in a fight, but just to no effect. And to be fair, his opponent didn't have any effect, but I was thinking, if he uses that, he's done. And Matias, relentless, combination puncher, tight shots like that, just ripping these shots like boom, and he broke him down. And then Ergashev at the end of the fifth, and I spoke about this in the Andrade fight, quit. Okay, now think about it like this. He said his leg was hurt. Didn't seem to be grabbing his leg after that. So he's coming in with the nickname descendant of Tamerlane, right? Who was a 14th century warlord, okay? A very infamous leader. And he conquered, a conqueror basically. And when you had, I forgot to mention this pre-fight, but you had the Conqueror versus the Terminator. Of course it was going to be a good fight, which it wasn't in the end, because of the false identity of Shojahan Ergashev, who quit and shamed his name, really. Because the reason why I say this, and I'm so strong about it, is because look, the difference in how he'll be treated, or his reputation will be looked at, if he'd have just been like, you know what, let me go, and just like, I can do this. It wasn't like he was taking a huge sustained beating. Yes, he was getting bullied. Yes, he was getting beaten, and he was. I'm not saying he wasn't, but it's not like because there is a fine line. I'm not trying to send these fighters out to get them completely beaten up and have their psychology destroyed, but I like to see heart. Yeah, and if you go out there and you don't show any heart, and then before you even get the opportunity to actually have the ref stop it and show something, you're going to just quit it completely, that's going to live with him forever. Now, who would you rather be? Would you rather be the Ergashev that said, let's just go on, I can do this for maybe a minute and just get backed up and have the ref stop it? Or would you want that to live with you forever? The fact that you quit, your whole country does know this, and it's going to be there forever. Forever. There's no going back. That moment of weakness, let it dominate him, and it took over, and it will live with him forever. The only way past that is if he's suddenly in another tough fight and he's in major adversity and he turns it round and he doesn't quit. But let's be honest, that's probably not going to happen. That's the only reason the many reasons, but that's one of the reasons why I go hard on fighters, because I'm like, it would have been better for you. It would have been better for you. Go out there and give it a little bit of a go. And what's the worst? I guess the worst that could happen is that he could get brutally knocked out. I get that, and I wouldn't want that for him. But Matias, look, he grinds you down, and it was looking like it would have been a corner stoppage or the ref stopping it had he gone out for the sixth. And I picked that. I did a film study like between 5 and 7, and then I changed it to like 6 and 8. But it was good. It was going in that direction. If he'd have come out for the 6th, they probably would have been the 6th or the 7th maybe. But I generally, for his psychology, for his psychological mental state in years to come, if you'd have chosen to just carry on one more round and have somebody else do that duty for you, then people would have been like, yeah, you good fight, champ. You know, he's a beast. Don't worry about it, though. You can come back again. But now it's like, yeah, but you quit, and then not to mention you mentioned your leg, which he didn't even hold his leg after that. So yeah, it is what it is. I know it rubs people the wrong way sometimes talking about quitting, and they start saying, well, you wouldn't be able to do this and stuff like that. Yeah, well, you don't know. But look, I hope you guys enjoyed the card. I enjoyed that card. Obviously I was disappointed with this fight because of Ergashev mainly. But I was also, when you have it's a catch-22, because I'm like, we are witnessing a very phenomenal fighter, which Regis Prograis tweeted, which is a weird thing to do when he's got a fight coming up against Devin Haney. But I love that. I love the energy he put out there. He's like, Matias Prograis 2024. Wow. Talk about best fights in boxing. Canelo Benavidez, Matias and Prograis is... I might do a separate video on that, because Prograis isn't going to quit. That's one of the reasons why he's one of my favorite to watch. And I've watched him, and I've just had such an affinity for his energy, his style, just how he fights, and his attitude. And I know he would be in there giving Matias all he could handle, and that I would be praising him to high end. And that's why, like, when it's the opposite, it's just disappointing. You know, I'd love to see what Prograis says about Ergashev quitting, because he was defending Ryan Garcia, saying he didn't quit against Tank. I'm like, well, okay, I disagree. He got up at the end of that. I went in on Garcia, and there's a lot of people still defending him on certain channels, and that's fine, that's their right. But you're not going to tell me he didn't quit. I know he quit. He didn't get up for the count, and then he got up. But anyway, look, yeah, this sport is it's a great sport. It really is. And you know, the card was good. I enjoyed it. We still got a few more fights. We still got a few more cards before this season is over. I'm working on a highlight reel for 2023 right now. It's just going to be all the best fights from 2023. It's been such a great year. And like I said, these fights now can line up possibly bigger fights. I've got, we've got the Sonny Edwards, Bam Bam Rodriguez. We've got this massive heavyweight card at the end of the month too. We have got Haney, Prograis Haney. I'm working on a breakdown for that. That should be out by the end of the week. I've got this Bivol documentary / video that I'm working on. I'm going to get back on that. I'm going to get it out no matter what, because I've been talking about it, and I'll put it on the sideline for a bit. But it's a pretty neat project. It's about Bivol and how he came to perfecting his style. And you know, it's a challenging piece, but I'm gonna get on it. But anyway, look, that's it from me. I hope you guys have a nice Sunday, and I hope you got to enjoy the fights. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. If you are new, welcome along. Hit the subscribe button, and thank you and shout out to all the new subscribers over the last few days. There's been quite a few of you. I really appreciate it. And as I keep saying, I'm going to do the best I can to get the content even better. You know, I'm really going to push myself this, well, anytime I do anything, I really push myself. But the next few weeks, we're going to take this channel to, you know, another stratosphere. I've been really talking about that, but I'm really trying hard. And I appreciate all the support, because without you guys watching it and liking and commenting, whatever it is, we can't do this. So it means a lot. It really does. I just want to send my gratitude as much as I can. Peace and love. I'm out of here. Have a great week. Boxing on the Edge.
Boxing.
On it.